Hello and welcome to my video on writing an algebraic expression for area. So this is more applications of algebra and this is seen in year 8 or 9. So let's check it out. Write an expression for the area in simplest form. So where you can, start with a formula. So I know the formula for area of a rectangle is length times width, okay? Now what's the length of this rectangle? The length is the longest side. So the length here is 8x and the width is 3x. So I'm just going to substitute in L is 8x, width is 3x. And then we want to leave it in simplest form, okay? So let's make sure we do this. So 8 times 3, multiply those coefficients. 8 times 3 is 24. X times x is x squared. Here is our expression for area in simplest form. Next one. Write an expression for the area in simplest form. All right. So I can see this shape is not a rectangle. It's a couple of rectangles, right? And we can break it up. I'm going to break it up into... You could also break it up using that length too, but I'm just going to use that one. Okay, and I'm going to label one shape 1 and the other 2. And I notice here, all right, that we have a couple of side lengths that aren't labeled. So we need to use reasoning to find those side lengths. And what I'm going to do there is I'm going to highlight some things. What am I doing? Here we are. I'm going to highlight a few side lengths in order to find this big side length at the top. We're going to look at those, right? Can you see that this big side length is the sum of these side lengths? They would both add up to give that side length, all right? So horizontal side lengths, highlight them first and use some reasoning. So 3y plus y, just adding them, because that's the total length. So 3y plus y is 4y. So that's that side length. Now this side length isn't labeled. Okay, so what I will do, I'll get an orange highlighter. How can we find that side length? Well, I'm going to highlight my vertical sides and see if they give me some information. So I know that those are 2 and x. What about this total distance? It's going to be 2 plus x. The total distance means you're summing those sides. So that means 2 plus x. And then we are ready to go. Let's write an expression for area. It is time. So let's write an overarching formula because this is an irregular shape. Total area equals area of shape 1 plus area of shape 2. Let's bring that over a bit. So this is our formula that's going to guide us. Now I'm going to go off and I'm going to find this bit first, the area of shape 1. And then we're going to just plug back into that formula at the end. Area, shape 1. Well, we know that shape 1 is a rectangle, so let's just write our formula. What's the length? Well, we found that through reasoning to be 4y. And the width of this rectangle, I'm only looking at this top shape 1, right? And the width is 2. Simplify it a bit, multiply those normal numbers. 4 times 2 is 8, y times 1 is y. So that's the area of our shape 1, but we need this total shape, right? So we are going to stick to this formula. We've found shape 1. I'm going to put a box around that because we'll need it later. Area, shape 2. Well, it looks like it's a square, but we don't have those side markings, okay? So maybe we'll just say length times width. Length is y or x. So So we're just multiplying the side lengths, right, of this shape. Okay. X, y times x. And you usually just list them in alphabetical order. So x, y. Now let's move that up a little bit. So the expression for the area in simplest form. We're coming back to our overarching formula. So we say, therefore, total area equals, well, the area of shape 1, which we found to be 8y, plus the area of shape 2, which we found was xy. And then we see, can we simplify it further? Because we need it in simplest form. Well, they're not like terms. Y and xy are not like terms. If it was y and y, yep, sure you could, but unfortunately not. So this is for expression for the area of an irregular shape. Just have a plan and then find each of them separately, and then remember to go back and substitute into that formula at the beginning that you made. Now, yeah, last question for today. Write an expression for the total area of this shape. All right, we can see that it's a rectangle. So let's write the formula for rectangle. Oops. Area of a rectangle. Make sure you don't use the perimeter one. Really got to use the right formula. Area is length times width. Now, what is the length of this shape? Why have they got these weird arrows going on? The length of this shape, you're adding x and 2, right? It's the total distance, which is made up of x and 2. So total means add. All right. Oh, it's just... So this is going to be x plus 2 is the total distance. So that's our length. X plus 2. And remember to put that in brackets, okay? Has to be in brackets when you're multiplying a couple of things, okay? Then we're going to times by the width, which is 4. Okay. And we could rewrite that as 4 times x plus 2. Just put the 4 out the front. And then if they said, leave your answer in factorized form, you're done. But if they said, leave your answer in simplified, expanded form, you're going to just take it one step further and expand the brackets. So 4 times x, 4x. 4 times 2, positive 8. And that's what you leave it at. Okay, I will see you in the next video.